Hey, welcome back to Pia Talks, and tonight we are talking The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 10, Episode 7. But before we get started, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe now. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you can always be notified when I post new content. So this episode starts out with the girls getting ready to go to Santa Barbara, and they're all going to meet up at Kyle's house. Dorit happens to be the first lady to show up, and her and Kyle greet each other as if nothing is wrong. Then her and Kyle have a discussion, and Kyle tells her how important their relationship is, how important their friendship is, and she really cares about her. And Dorit says in her private interview, she said, "Isn't that weird? You value my friendship, but just the other night you told me to F you." She says, "This type of stuff in a friendship really makes me uneasy." Are you guys really friends? That's my question. Are any of these ladies true, authentic friends? They always say they are, and they throw that friends word around often. And I'm thinking, you guys are co-workers. You don't act like real friends. Kyle tells Dorit that she was really upset about the couples therapy thing. She says it's absolutely ridiculous and asinine. Her and Teddy definitely didn't have couples therapy. And Dorit says, well, you actually went to therapy together, so it's sort of like couples therapy. And she says, well, we go get our nails done together. And that's true. I mean, they do get nails and everything together. Is that really considered like couples nails? Let it go. Who cares? She brings up the comment that if only Kyle would just admit that her relationship with Teddy was more important, or she cared about Teddy more than she cared about everybody else, everything would be fine. Why though? Why does she need to admit that she likes Teddy better than everybody else? You can tell that she likes Teddy better than everybody else. It doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter. Everybody is talking about this as if it's going to change their lives in some dramatic way. Who gives a damn if she likes Teddy better than you? Move on, girl. You got your whole life, businesses, a home. Buca de Beppo needs to be designed. You have a husband and 2 kids. Who gives a damn who Kyle likes and who she doesn't? In the end of all that nonsense, they kiss and make up, and I wonder to myself, how long is this makeup gonna last? We move on to Garcelle, who is at home packing up, headed off to Nashville to film a television show that she's working on. She's also producing 2 movies, raising her kids, filming the Housewives, trying to date, also trying to film Coming to America 2, and I don't know how this woman even has time to sleep. She's on her way to the school to kiss her kids goodbye before she heads off to the airport. And it's so funny that she tells both of her boys that they're her favorite son. And I started laughing, and then I thought, wait, did she have a 3rd son? So I believe she probably tells all of her sons that they're her favorite, which is understandable. I tell my son he's my favorite all the time. And he says, Mom, I'm your only son. And I said, I don't care. Even if I had like 100, you'd still be my favorite. Dear God, if I ever have another kid, I got to remember not to say that. Garcelle says that she really, really hates that she's away from her boys so often. She says sometimes when she picks them up from school, some of the parents will say, "Hi, stranger." And she says they don't know how bad that pisses her off. And if they weren't on school property, she would probably whoop somebody's ass. Yikes. Calm down, Garcelle. Oh, is it just me, or does it seem like every season there is a scene where one of Kyle's dogs is running out of the house and her husband or her and the kids are chasing down a dog? Well, we got our dog scene this season. Lisa Rinna shows up. She's ready for them to go to Santa Barbara, and one of Kyle's dogs runs out of the house, and she's screaming for the dog to come back in. I said, Lord have mercy. Put up a gate. Do something. Goodness. Erica shows up, and the vibe between her and Kyle was a little odd. And in her personal interview, she says that Kyle did hurt her feelings, but she's not going to let one bad night spoil their friendship. However, she's not going to put up with too many more bad nights. And I think she meant that. And I agree with her. There's only so much I'm going to deal with, especially from a coworker, because these people are not legitimate friends. No, ma'am. Co-worker, you cut off. I'm just saying. We get the treat of going over to the Bold and the Beautiful. Lord, I used to watch the Bold and the Beautiful years ago, and then I quit. because I was so tired of the back and forth between Brooke Ridge and Taylor, Brooke Ridge and somebody else, Brooke Ridge and somebody else. I mean, it was just too daggone much, so I gave it up. That was a straight up habit. I had to let it go. But anyway, Denise was on set. They showed her filming a scene, and then they showed her having a photo shoot with Ridge and Brooke. And I said, now wait a minute. Brooke is holding up real good. That woman is gorgeous. I said, now what has she had done? She looked amazing. She really did. I kid you not. The woman looked gorgeous. So Denise says that most of the time she plays a character who's super sexy and people think that that's what she is in real life, and she's not. She also says that you can be so glamorous out on the red carpet one minute and then the next minute in the limousine fighting with your husband, screaming and yelling. She said that's what happened to her and Charlie, and 10 days later she was filing for divorce even though she was just on the red carpet smiling and acting like everything was perfect. That happens to everyday people. A lot of married couples are out greeting people, talking, enjoying the cookout or a dinner party, and then on their way home looking at each other like, God, I hate you. I mean, it happens. The girls finally get to Santa Barbara, and Kyle has rented a beautiful home. It has 8 bedrooms, so these women do not have to fuss and fight. Now, this is a trip that Kyle should have invited Luann from the Housewives of New York. Luann could have got the best room and no complaints. Ramona, I hope she's paying attention. The next trip, go to Santa Barbara. Anyway, when they get to Santa Barbara, they're met by the property manager, and she's a hugger. So she's hugging all the girls, and Sutton said, oh, you're a hugger. And she says, oh, you too? She said, no, but that's okay. After that, the lady gives Lisa Rinna a handshake, and she asks her, are you a hugger? Lisa says, yes. I mean, way to go, Sutton. I don't know. Some episodes, I really like Sutton. Other episodes, I could do without her. But this one, she was okay. Denise was filming, so she was going to be late to Santa Barbara. So the rest of the girls go down to the wharf. They are riding bikes. They went to a wine tasting. And the thing that was a little bit odd to me is when they got to the wine tasting, they had set out a nice spread for them. And there was a dog, like, sniffing around the food. And I thought, whose dog is this? I mean, nobody mentioned the dog. Nobody said anything or complained, but no, sir. You're too close to the cheese. But anyway, the girls started drinking their wine. They're having a good time. And then the subject of Denise is brought up. Erica mentions that she apologized to Denise about the threesome situation, that Denise had brought it up, and she thinks that Denise was taking this very seriously. Teddy brings up the fact that Denise has brought it up to her as well. Then the conversation just goes all over the place.
Don't we normally talk like that?
We're going to Denise's and Aaron's. We're not going to church.
She took her husband to get a happy ending. She can't be offended.
They had a hooker at Thanksgiving.
I understand that Denise would be embarrassed having to explain what a threesome is to her teenage daughter.
I think if your 14-year-old daughter's asking you, Mom, what is a threesome, or why were you guys talking about that, that is what's going to jar her.
And they already know if they haven't had one already.
Oh!
Erica says, we were going to Denise's and Aaron's house, not church. So in other words, she's saying, why do we have to censor ourselves? The only thing that I can say on this is Lisa Rinna was right with that. They normally do talk like that. And you shouldn't really have to censor yourself when you're around your good girlfriends, co-workers. However, there were children present. And every woman at that table are moms. So you should know that there's certain conversations that cannot be had around the children. However, I also see the other side of the story too. You know that this is the conversations that we normally have. So why have us either sitting so close to the kids, or why have the kids here, period? I am so on the fence about this because I see both sides. I really do. Lisa Rinna brings up the fact that she got a happy ending for her husband, and Erica said, well, they just had hookers over for Thanksgiving. I don't know. That's one hell of a Thanksgiving. I don't think I've ever had a hooker at Thanksgiving. I think that I used to work with a hooker. Yeah, but she didn't come for Thanksgiving. Denise shows up almost on cue, and she has a bottle of tequila. Everybody is all smiles and double cheek kisses, and oh, there's Denise with the tequila. Denise realizes that everybody's pretty much drunk, and somebody says, hey, let's go home. And Denise is like, yeah, she said, before we wear out our welcome, because we're not the quietest. And Kyle says, oh, whatever happened to Denise that drank tequila? What happened to the fun, Denise? And I agree. I don't think that she was not being fun. I think that she mentioned that she had been up since 4 o'clock that morning. She filmed 2 episodes of Bold and Beautiful. She got dressed, she got packed, and she drove to Santa Barbara. So the woman is just tired. Plus, she did have a little bit of tequila there, and that can make you sleepy. They get back to the house, and Kyle is out on the balcony, mesmerized at the beautiful, beautiful view. It was a beautiful sunset, and she's screaming her head off because she wants the rest of the girls to come and enjoy the sunset as well. The girls are trying to eat a little snack, trying to get ready for dinner. Nobody's coming out there for that. I kind of wish they would have, because it was beautiful. So I'm thinking that the ladies were going out to dinner because they got dressed to the nines. They weren't going anywhere. They were having dinner right there at the house. I mean, they were dressed from head to toe, hair, makeup, lashes, everything. I said, now what? No, there is no way that I would have got fully dressed, hair, makeup, lashes, none of that, to eat dinner right here at the table at the house with you people that I have seen all day today. No. And on vacation too. Nope. I would have threw a bun in my hair, a pair of jeans, and a t-shirt, and sat down and had this fancy dinner. Get out of here. Are you kidding me? Fancy clothes to sit at the table in the house. I told you people I am not a fashionista. I know nothing about fashion. I just know that we're in the house. Out of nowhere, Renna asked Denise, how was it filming a 3-way for a movie? It was kind of condescending, and it was very uncomfortable, and all the rest of the girls were looking because they knew what Renna was doing. And Denise kind of flowed with it. She didn't act like she realized what Lisa was doing. But I thought, you shady, shady, shady woman. What in the heck is going on with you? Denise was gracious, and she says that it was very uncomfortable. And she felt more comfortable when it was just her and the girl in the scene because she knew that they would protect each other. And, you know, they asked her a few other questions. I thought, why is Renna being so shady and petty? Like, she is really being absolutely petty. She said that, you know, she was worried about her parents seeing the movie. She was also worried about her children seeing the movie, which is also understandable. Again, you don't want to have to explain this stuff to your kids. However, when they get to a certain age, you can have the conversation. But right now, she's just not ready for it. And the rest of the girls were just, you know, sort of side-eyeing her, mentioning that she was hoping that the kids would never see it or not see it. And Lisa Renna was correct when she said, hey, they're going to see it. They really are. I mean, they probably will seek out movies and television shows, any projects with their mom. You know, they want to see their mom, you know, her work, what she's been doing. So at some point they're going to see it. But Lisa Renna took it to a low standard, if you ask me.
I don't know. I look at it a bit differently, though I respect exactly where you're coming from. I do, but we were in Tokyo, and my book came up, and the girls had dropped the bomb that they had read that book when they were 11.
Like, your sex book literally teaches you how to give head.
Oh, my God.
Very precisely.
You know, in the moment, I was like, oh, my God. But I was like, you know what? Hey, I taught them how to do it right.
You're going there.
I did. I'm sorry. Think about it. If they're going to get information, they might as well get good information. It's just sex, for God's sake. Yeah, it's horrifying to think about your daughter's giving a blowjob. I mean, do you want to think of your daughter's giving a blowjob? No! But hi, welcome to the real world.
I don't know. I mean, she had a point also. You know, at some point, your kids are going to grow up. They're going to see everything. They're going to do everything. All the stuff that you don't want them to do. However, I think Lisa Rinna is just out here. You know what I mean? She's doing a lot. She's trying to steal the crown that Kyle thinks that she has that belongs to Lisa Vanderpump, and neither one of them deserve the crown. It's just too much. I'm so sick of seeing what seems like Lisa and Kyle are trying to compete to get this crown of the Real Housewives, and it's just stupid. Both of you are looking ridiculous right now. Kyle apologizes to Denise, and Denise tells her that she just felt that Kyle was judging her when she made those comments about her makeup, her glam, also the comments about the ice sculpture, which her daughter had picked out. And she felt judged because she was judged. Kyle was like, you don't never have anything fancy like this. Now all of a sudden you've got this fancy ice sculpture. That was rude, and it was very judgmental. The ragamuffin comment, that was judgmental. However, turns out the rest of the girls felt that Denise was judging them because of the conversation they had about the threesome situation. And I kind of feel like maybe in a way she was. I don't want to think that she was, but she could have been judging them. And if she was, she shouldn't. Because she has said a lot of things. And the girls mentioned that the next day. The girls said, hey, you talk about your husband's penis. You talk about happy endings. You talk about all kinds of stuff. But then it's not okay when we talk about it because your kids are around and all of a sudden we're bad moms. And I think there's a bit of a difference. She is talking about it, but she's talking about it to a group full of grown women, not in front of her children. So there's a difference. However, you're saying it on a show that your kids are going to see at some point. Next thing you know, Dorit decides she wants to get into the conversation.
This really hurt me, Kyle. You said you're not as good of friends with Erica as you think you are.
Friend situation. But I don't have any friends. Remember, that's what you told me? That's why you don't have any friends.
It was just really hurtful.
Well, I mean, obviously, when you're upset, you say things.
We've all said things that
It's a really strong and hurtful thing to say.
Then all of a sudden, Teddy wants to jump in. She wants to clear her name. She feels that Dorit shades her all the time.
You consistently shade me. And I want you to know that I don't know if there's something between you and Kyle that you need to work out, but I don't need to be shaded in a friendship situation. It really doesn't involve me. It's something you guys need to work through.
She does. My thing is these women are grown, like grown. Everybody is in their 40s or older. And they live really privileged lives. They have great families, great jobs. But every time they get together, they cannot have a moment of just happiness, just a celebration of us girls hanging out together. It's always a big fight, a big argument. And I realize that majority of it is just for TV because, Bravo is not going to have us watching a boring show of ladies having a good time drinking tea. Bravo is not here for that. And neither are we. As a fan, I love it. I get angry with them, but at the same time, I love a good argument. Or a good drink toss or, anything like that. I just wish these girls could, for one moment, could go on a beautiful vacation and not have somebody show the hell out. It just would be great. But it looks like the arguing continues in next week's episode, and I'm here for it. I'm here for all the drama. And so, until next time, bye.